a true celebrity because everywhere you go, every football player goes. Robin Carlin of Denver Post TV. Every morning you can be seen live online if you want to check that out, right?
That's right.
And you're also a columnist for Mile High Sports Magazine.
Correct.
Now,
A+.
I do my homework. Now,
you would be surprised how many people don't.
Well, see, here's the thing. You became internet famous all over the country last year.
You're making me sound like a Kardashian now. I don't know about internet famous.
Listen, I prefer blondes. I'm not going to call you a Kardashian. I like you better. Last year, what was it? It was Michael K. show.
Right. It was a Michael K. show. I ran into Jason McCourty. I've known Devin and Jason since the Super Bowl 2 years ago when the Broncos and Seahawks were, and I met them. Greatest guys. They're Sickle Cell Foundation. They do a lot of work with that. I think they were both nominated for Walter Peyton Manning of the Year awards, so they do a lot of community outreach stuff. So obviously Devin wasn't at Radio Row because he was practicing with the Patriots last year in the Super Bowl, but I saw Jason. So I was like, hi, let's take a selfie and let's send it to Devin and be like, hi, enjoy the heat, whatever, you're practicing right now. So this all happened, while the Michael K. show was filming. And I guess a lot of people were like, who's the blonde? Like, have her on your show. And
you broke the internet.
So they had me on, and I'm actually going on again with them as kind of a year, where are they now check-in.
Well, all right. Now, you, of course, you know plenty about Denver sports, so plenty about Peyton Manning, plenty about the Broncos. The Ryan Murphy story that he has been sent home, the practice squad safety. What are you hearing about this?
So basically, I'd never heard of the guy. When someone said Ryan Murphy, I'm like, I don't even know who that is, because Denver has lost two guys in the secondary, Omar Bolden and David Bruton, this year. So they brought in Shiloh Keogh and they brought in Josh Bush. So I was like, who is Ryan Murphy, a safety? I don't even know who this guy is. I think Gary Kubiak is setting the tone. 2 years ago, a lot was made after the Broncos got blown out by the Seahawks that they partied too hard.
Right.
The week leading up to the Super Bowl. I had talked to one player at media night, and he was like, man, I've never been to New York City before. I'm going to have a blast. Like, it was well known that the Broncos were out and about that week. And then we all saw what happened on the big stage. So I think Gary Kubiak, they didn't have curfew Sunday night. They didn't have curfew Monday night. The curfew was installed last night for the rest of the week. And, I think Kubiak is sending that message, even though the authorities said, hey, you know what, we're going to let you go because we don't have enough to indict you or convict you or anything of this prostitution ring or whatever at the Motel 6 he was involved in. But Kubiak said, you know what, go home. Pack your bags and go back to Denver. I'm not having this. This is a distraction for us. He said, quote, we feel that we need to keep preparing for Super Bowl 50 without Murphy. So I think it sends a message loud and clear. It's unfortunate that, in this league, it's not innocent until proven guilty. It's the other way around. Right. But, we sent him home to send a message, and I like it. I like the stuff that Gary Kubiak does. Another thing that Kubiak is doing this year is they're practicing at Stanford right now, and John Elway's old stomping grounds.
Right.
They're practicing with the crowd noise. Because we all saw what happened the first drive with the Broncos. Manny Ramirez, Peyton Manning, miscommunication there. The early snap led to a safety for the Seahawks. John Fox didn't anticipate that noise, and there was miscommunication the entire game. They could hardly hear each other. So I like that they're being proactive this year, and they're practicing with the crowd noise each day this week.
What is the Broncos' mindset coming into this game? Because we were surprised at Media Day. They were having a lot of fun at Media Day, and the Panthers were the team that was real serious, and we kind of predicted it to be the other way.
Well, there's a lot of different narratives, if you will, this week. There's obviously the storybook ending for Peyton Manning and DeMarcus Ware. The guys want to get DeMarcus Ware his ring, and they want to send Peyton Manning off from his illustrious career in the NFL with another ring. So those are probably the two biggest storylines. But the biggest storyline is you got the number one defense against the number one offense. And much is being made about Cam Newton, can Denver's big, pass rushers, Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware, can they get to him? Because if they overfloat the quarterback, what's going to happen? He's going to run. He's going to take off. So that's a big storyline, too, is you got to put pressure on him, but how do you do it?
Right. Robin Carlin joining us, Denver Post TV, columnist for Mile High Sports Magazine. It's funny because we talk about that last Denver Super Bowl where they were the number one offense.
Exactly.
Going against the number one defense.
Right.
She was on the other foot.
Role reversal, absolutely. Denver came into that game flying high. Right, I mean that was a year where Manning was setting all sorts of records and they were blowing teams out. It was almost like Madden football, right?
Right.
But this year, Denver has learned how to win games ugly. I mean, they've had to rely on the defense to score points, not the offense. So I think John Elway, they needed to get tougher. He went out and got guys like a DeMarcus Ware, a Aqib Talib, a dirty T.J. Ward. Emmanuel Sanders, who pound for pound might be one of the toughest guys in the NFL if you see some of the hits he takes and he gets up. So John Elway did a really good job of going out and getting tougher, and look at them now. They got the number 1 defense in the league.
What's the one thing that the Broncos have to take away from Carolina's offense? What's the one thing that defense has to do?
I mean, Cam Newton, they're a very balanced offense. I think they average, over 140 yards on the ground.
Right.
And Cam is what did he has over 600 yards this year with his feet. So they got to, I mean, it's really that simple. You got to, take away that balance, that powered offense that they have.
Make them one-dimensional.
Yeah, and win the turnover battle. I mean, some simple things like that. Give the defense good field position. Some simple things like that. But definitely winning the turnover battle. But the biggest thing is the Denver offense has got to score at least 20 points because Carolina's averaging over that. They're going to. So the Denver offense has got to do that at least to win the game. It's obviously, at the end of the game, whoever scores the most points, right? It's pretty simple. So Denver offense has got to find a way to put up at least a minimum of 20 points.
Simple math. Robin Carlin with us right now, and 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Peyton Manning is now the whole debate. Is this his last rodeo?
Yeah.
Is he going to ride off in the sunset? Now we're hearing the Rams are curious if he'll be available to be their quarterback next year. What would it mean to Denver if Manning doesn't hang it up and goes and plays for another team?
Well, Sunday is Peyton Manning's last game as a Bronco. They're making a commitment to Brock Osweiler. They've got a lot of guys that they got to sign. They got to sign Von Miller. They got to sign Malik Jackson. They got to sign maybe a DeMarcus Ware if they keep them. They got a lot of guys that they got to spend that $14 million on. That's not a quarterback. So I think that I believe that they're making a commitment to Brock Osweiler. So this is Peyton Manning's last game as a Bronco. Now, is this his last game in the NFL? We don't know because that's Peyton Manning for you. You're never going to know. He's already dodging those questions on opening night. He's saying all the right things, the calculated guy he is. I'm focused on the Super Bowl and what my career after that. I can't think or talk about that right now. If he feels like at 40 years old he has another year left in him, I don't see the Rams. I see him going to. If he doesn't get the ring, he's still going to be chasing that ring. If he doesn't get a Super Bowl ring on Sunday, he's still going to be chasing that. So why would he go to a team like the Rams who aren't very close?
All right. Well, here's my question though, Robin. I'm gonna look around because I got a little source. I heard a little while ago, a friend of mine told me that there was a chance Peyton Manning would go play 1 year in Cleveland.
No way.
He would be promised a front office job at the end of the season.
I don't buy that at all. The Browns, are you kidding me? They're one of the biggest jokes in the NFL right now. A guy like Peyton Manning, what incentive? I mean, I hear what you're saying about the front office job, but he could get a front office job anywhere he wants.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Elway. He didn't.
He is. Why is he not Elway? Why is he not Elway?
Well, because Elway was the face of the Broncos, so it just made sense to give him the opportunity. Once he got it and ran with it, Peyton. You're not getting the Broncos job. You're not going back to Indy. Who's the team that takes him and lets him be the face of their organization?
I think any team would take him. I think it's going to be a situation where he says where he goes, not the other way around. I don't think he would go to the Browns are a mess. I don't see Peyton Manning playing for the Browns or getting involved in that mess of a front office they have.
See, I like Robin Carlin a lot. Brady,
I don't know, but I don't see it. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Why would he do that?
Robin, we're hiring a new co-host for me.
In Albany?
Yes. How do you feel about Albany, New York?
I've never been, so I can't honestly say.
It's amazing.
Is
it's the
it?
most beautiful place on the planet.
Very tropical this time of year, huh?
It's actually about the same weather we're having right here, right now.
Well, I'm from Jackson, Mississippi originally, so, I like my warm weather.
All right, fine. Robin Carlin from Denver Post TV. You are fantastic. You got the whole Denver thing on lock.
Thank you. I hope so. I've been following this team all season, so.
Though I think we may have to do like a wager if Peyton ends up in Cleveland, like you have to send me a bottle of wine or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do a lot more than that since there's not a chance, and you know what, that'll happen.
I'm not even going to make the joke I was going to make.
No, make it. I want to hear it.
No,
let's hear it. I got thick skin. Come on.
How much is a lot more than that?
I don't know. What's your mind going with this right now is what I want to know.
I love it. Robin Carlin here. She's fantastic. Mile High Sports Magazine. She's a columnist there.